The first order of business is roll call. May we please commence roll call?
Hello?
Yep.
Okay. Student trustee Mall? Okay. President Hanuri?
Present.
Vice President Kasowski?
Present.
Chief of Staff Connors?
Present.
Speaker of the House Joe?
Present.
Treasurer Hawk?
Present.
Graphic designer Ma? Web administrator Selvaraj? Okay. Chairperson Guerrero? Chairperson Patineo?
Here.
Chairperson Patineo?
She's here.
Chairperson Almendra?
Present.
Chairperson Fernandez?
Present.
Chairperson Celestino?
Present.
That's me. Representative Chuanek? Representative Beltran?
Present.
Representative Teacher?
Present.
Representative Cruz? Representative Fairtruth?
Present.
Representative Leyva? Representative Patel? Okay. Representative Sharma? Representative Erlbacher?
Present.
Representative Vilaka? Representative Bassett?
Present.
Representative Chidari? Representative Lamisa Khan? Representative Lamisa Khan? Okay, Representative Rose? Representative Mercasa?
Present.
Representative Sumu? Representative Slaughter? Representative Barrington? Representative Saadi? Representative Basta?
Present.
Representative Mehta? Representative Hadi? Representative Flynn? Representative Carbanda?
Present.
Okay. Representative Sarah Khan? Representative Malik? Representative Satar? Representative Satar? Representative Komani?
Present.
Representative Dolma?
Present.
Adwan? Thank you.
All right, and just to make sure for people in person, Dania will be coming around to check your daily pass, so please have that ready. The next order of business is the reading and approval of the agenda. Please take this time to read over the agenda. Are there any corrections to the agenda?
Yes, I would like to make a motion.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would like to make a motion to add under new business resolution 2022 S2 400.
Okay, there has been a motion to add resolution 2022 S2 400 to the agenda. All those in favor, please say aye. All those that oppose, please say nay. If not, the motion has passed. Are there any more corrections to the agenda? If not, then the agenda will stand as approved. I actually skipped one, sorry. The next order of business is reading and approval of the minutes. Please take this time to read over the minutes. Are there any corrections to the minutes? If not, then the minutes will stand as approved. So the next order of business is old business. And first we have resolution 2022 S2 100. So could we have Daniela, do you have someone presenting that?
Yes, we're gonna have Stella.
Mhm. She can go ahead. Oh, you can unmute, yeah. Not really. You can come up too.
Okay. So this is the resolution I presented last week. I'm just motioning to amend the resolution name to 2022 S2100. And I'm also motioning to,
Read it first and then we'll.
okay. So the resolution is 2022 S2100. She sponsors me and Diversity and Inclusion Committee Chair Daniela. Whereas the undergraduate student government will be hosting a community event called Engaging Community. And whereas the objective of this event is to connect the student body with the surrounding community of Chicago. And whereas this event will take place on February 3rd from 12 o'clock p.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. in the, sorry.
Read the old one first. And
Okay. In the Illinois Room AD. And whereas this event will count with the confirmed participation of the following community organizations: No Stigmas, A Safe Haven Foundation, Greater Chicago Food Depository Breakthrough, Indo-American Center, Chicago Cancer, Healthy Equity Collaborative Chicago, CHEC, Illinois Heart Rescue Chicago Debates, Girls in the Game, Shirley Ryan Ability Lab, Dive Heart, and United Spinal. Then let it be resolved that the UIC undergraduate student government will allocate a maximum amount of $1,100 to cover the cost of the room reservation, audiovisual equipment, refreshments, and guest accommodations. Let it be further resolved that any amount of money that is not used will be returned to the USG budget.
All right, thank you. Are there any amendments to this resolution? You can go ahead.
I motion to amend the name to 2022 S2100. And I also motion to change the budget cost to $1,100.
There has been a motion to change the name to S2, sorry. 2021 or 2022 S2100 and to change the dollar amount to 700, 1100. Is there a second? All right, sorry. All those in favor of this amendment, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All that opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? All right, the ayes have it. The amendment has been passed. Are there any more questions about the resolution? Oh, go ahead. Oh, sure.
So can you tell us what the tentative schedule would look like for the event?
Yeah, so it's set up like the involvement fair. So from 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock, we gave the time to the organizations to come in and set up. And then students are welcome to come anytime between 12 and 4. They can walk around, talk to any organization, and just interact. So it's very casual. And then 4 o'clock to 4:30, organizations can pack up and kind of just clean up and stuff.
All right, Melody.
I can respond to that question. So unfortunately, we have to purchase the catering. We're doing events on campus, and then we don't choose the price for catering. It's just catering has very like high price food. So we cannot do anything about like there's like contracts they have for those prices. So it's through UIC catering. So they have like their menu with the price already set. So it would be an initiative we could pursue, but as of today, like there is no, we cannot like have like 5 bags of prices.
Felix.
I just wanted to add on to that. So when it comes to UIC catering, that's something that we're looking into because your contract is ending. So if you feel very passionate about it, I would probably invite you to be part of those conversations. because it is an issue, and then hopefully we can figure out a more sustainable way for UIT students, because these contracts are 10 years long, so their contract is running up, and so are the contracts of the majority of the restaurants in the inner circle. So, yeah, I mean, I'm on the same boat with you. Like, I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's appropriate to exploit the students for monetary gain. So, yeah, it's happening, but it's just a slow process, just like with everything in the university.
All right, any more questions? Go ahead.
How will you promote this event and get it out to students know about it?
So we already have flyers posted throughout SEE. Me and Daniela are trying to put flyers up throughout other buildings too, and then it's also on the social media.
All right, thank you. Are there any more questions? Okay, if there are no more questions, we will move on to voting. All those in favor of adopting resolution 2022 S2100, please say aye.
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 Thank you. All that opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? All right, this resolution has passed. The next order of business is new business. First, we have resolution, 2022 S2801. Mohammed, would you like to present this?
Alrighty, hello everyone. This is resolution 2022-S2-801. The chief sponsor is myself and Vice President Arthur Kozlowski. Whereas the undergraduate student government, USG, strives to advocate for the interest of the undergraduate student body. And whereas USG's mission is to ensure university resources and institutions are there to serve students and ensure students' financial burdens are as minimized as reasonably possible. And whereas USG has funding allocated to initiative projects to help advance the ongoing specific academic interests of students, then let it be resolved that USG will allocate $550 to cover the purchase and any related expenditures of the following books to be donated to the USC Library as course reserves. And let it be further resolved that any unspent funds will be returned to the budget.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions? Tanya, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay. So these specific materials, were these discussed with like the people before? Were these the specific ones that they asked for?
So we definitely took consensus of the books that people wanted. For example, for the pre-dental books, those we talked with the pre-dental club. Obviously, they have a full range of books they would like to be purchased, but we have a limited set of vendors, so we chose what was possible. We couldn't get everything we wanted, but we hope that this will suffice for the foreseeable future.
And then in terms of how these are being activated,
Mhm.
the conversation that extended.
Well, this is not going to any student organization specifically. It's not going to any one club. It's going to the USC course reserves. So the USC library will have these, and it will be available to both student orgs and to students alike to access.
Isaiah?
How will this be promoted to students
Mhm.
who want it?
Sure. We have various techniques to promote this. We have our Instagram page. As I've said, we've been talking with several student organizations. So we'll be ensuring that they know when these books are coming in so they could tell members of their own club. So they who are interested in these specific professions know what the books are and where they can find it.
Thank you. Are there any more questions? Go ahead. Could you turn your mic on, please? Sorry.
Hello?
Yep.
Is this fine? Okay, so these books are going to be in the USC library, correct?
Yes.
So, and like since these are like textbooks, is there a specific time? Because like getting one of each of those textbooks, those students probably gonna like have it for a couple months max, so they're not gonna be able to use it all year. So it's gonna be the same type of like month like rent as if most other books are, or it's gonna be different.
So,
Arthur wants.
go ahead, Arthur.
I can answer that question since I was talking to the library about it. These books are located right behind the library desk, and there they actually have shelves of other study materials, other textbooks, I mean. And I made sure with Muhammad to choose the books based on student feedback and based on what they already had, as you see here. But those books can only be borrowed for 24 hours, and you have to be returned. There's not going to be any. So you shouldn't be too afraid of like anybody hogging the book, right? So.
And just to add a minor detail to that, obviously the checkout details, how long you could take them for and whatnot, that is not up to us. That's up to the USC librarian, up to their discretion.
All right, thank you. Any more questions? Sorry, oh my gosh. I'm just gonna stop. Oh wow. Sorry. Yeah, Melody. And then I got you, Brenda.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, this is not up to us to decide. It's up to the USC library. So if students want to have for more than 24 hours, that's something that they would have to talk to the library about. It is out of our hands, unfortunately.
And just add on to that, there are textbooks available on the shelves. They're just older editions. The ones that are available behind the desk are newer editions. And the reason why they're there is because one, they're new. Two, they don't want people writing in them. And plus, the way I see it, it not only allows students to use it for study, but allows them to explore which textbooks are right for them. Then they can decide if they want to purchase it themselves.
There are older editions that already exist. Why buy the new editions? Like first off,
Yeah, and just a comment for everyone, please turn your mics on during if you're speaking. Okay, go ahead, John.
So going back to the point about the library. Oh, go ahead.
I wanted to add that, you can hear me. Okay. I wanted to add that oftentimes, like the window is so small because the library offers free copying. And so, I mean, I'm not entirely sure like whether this should be directly encouraged, but oftentimes students, what they do is they check it out for 24 hours and then they photocopy on the free copier in the library, the pages that they need. And then, they return it and might come back and do that because as of, the last few years, that photocopier near the staircase has been free for all the students to use and, copy the books as they wish. So that's just a kind of a bit of a solution to that.
All right. Art, did you want to respond?
yeah,
Mike.
I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. You can probably just use someone else's near you next time. Okay, Brenda, and then I think we have a Zoom question. A little louder.
Here, I'm gonna just use my voice now.
Okay.
Like, two things. One, I know you guys are mentioning about the book for sure, but I can see here when I'm looking at the website, it's saying that some of them are sold out. So is there that I have is that, or did it commentaries I have is that I see that a lot of students look at the that actually does help a lot of students, even myself. I literally look at all my books and I literally save up so much money. So is there any chance that we have that as well as part of our classes?
On that last point, I'm not sure if we have access to it or if we could use it at all. But to your first point in terms of the stock being issue, obviously, as we know, supply and chain is a problem for the entire country right now. What we'll do is we'll purchase the books that we can, and to those that we cannot, we'll either search for an alternative if we cannot get the books back in stock soon enough.
Sorry, any more questions? Oh, sorry, Tayo had a question on Zoom. Is there any way it could be extended to like a week or more? I'm guessing the time.
I have asked them about that, but no.
Okay, so no. Any more questions? Felix?
I would just like to make a comment. So like when it comes to it, of course the system is broken. I do agree. Like there's no way like that we can supply textbooks to students, unfortunately. But this is a step in the right direction, and that's really important to highlight because we are giving with this we'll be giving access. We'll be giving students access to materials that otherwise they wouldn't be able to access because of how expensive they are. And I think that's really important to know. Something is better than nothing at this point. And I think this is just an ongoing issue that is larger than USC, unfortunately, when it comes to how much the pricing of the textbooks are and how they mitigate everything and how the professors choose their textbooks, whether it being their own or whatever it may be. But I think this is a step in the right direction. Of course, things could be improved when it comes to the library side as well. But I think like for what it's not a definitive fix, but like a temporary fix, if anything. So this is one thing to keep in mind when voting on this.
Matthew?
Yeah, I agree with Felix. I think it's a great stepping point. Hearing these the concerns about this is obviously just a single time solution. But it just gave me ideas. I think maybe we can even try exploring open access test prep material. And I can speak to this with the library. See if this is like a possibility, either bringing this to UIC or seeing if we can do research on it.
Thank you. Any more questions or comments? If not, we will be voting on this resolution next week. The next order of business is resolution 2022 S2400. Abby, would you like to present that?
Yes, let me just pull it up real quick. Okay. Okay. So this resolution is titled Canva Pro Funding. Chief sponsors are me and Darian. Whereas Canva is an online design and publishing tool which facilitates photo editing, video making, and logo creation. And whereas Canva Pro offers premium stock photos, premium templates, background removal tools, resizing features, 100 GB of cloud storage, and the availability to schedule social media content to 8 platforms. And whereas the undergraduate student government will greatly benefit from the purchase of Canva Pro for the development of graphics and promotional material. And whereas this will greatly support the work of our graphic designer by providing tools for graphic design, then let it be resolved that the UIC undergraduate student government will allocate $119.99 to cover the cost of Canva Pro's annual subscription for up to 5 individuals to use at the same time. Let it be further resolved that future administrations will consider the renewal of this subscription.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions? Anyone on Zoom? If not, we will be voting on this resolution next week. The next order of business is items for discussion, and there are no items for discussion. So the next order of business is ex officio reports. May we please have the report of the advisor?
So next week, there will be a discussion about ABC. and what that looks like.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions? If not, we will move on to the next order of business, which is the report, or sorry, the report of the student trustee. Is there a report for the student trustee? If not, we will move on to the next order of business, which is officer reports. May we please have the report of the president?
Yeah, I hope everyone is having a good evening. So last week I met with the USG advisors to discuss the election planning committee reform. Basically just advocating for more transparency regarding the process and meetings. I'll also be attending the Asian American Resource and Cultural Center Roundtable on February 9th. And I think we'll be meeting with them soon to discuss logistics for that event. And recently we made the spring recruitment form live, so it's on the website, and we made a post on our Instagram. And interviews are going to be on February 21st during our 6 p.m. general body meetings. And the application is due on the 18th. So if you know anyone that wants to apply, make sure they put in the application before the 18th and attend one of our general body meetings prior to the 21st. And we will also be promoting spring recruitment during the engaging community event on February 3rd. So we should have a booth to promote our spring recruitment. I also met with Matthew, John, and Arthur to discuss the survey for online and hybrid learning and the goals of the survey. And for the upcoming month of February, I will have meetings with the campus dining RFP process, the director of the counseling search committee, as well as the public safety board meeting. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Are there any questions? If not, the report of the president will be filed. Next, we have the report of the vice president.
Hello, everyone. So quote of this week: what you risk reveals what you value. I believe it's quite a realistic quote. Sometimes you gotta take a chance if you want to get what you want. So, but on to the report. So I recently got news that the Senate and some of their committees reviewed and rejected a USG resolution titled Student Mental Health Days, which called for the inclusion of 3 non-instructional reading days at the end of each fall and spring semester before finals week. So I'm going to be working with Michelle and getting student feedback from my mental health coalition about what they think about it soon. And then I'll be talking about it with the rest of the e-board to strategize our response to this resolution and reforming it so that it can happen. And it'll be presented to the body on a later date. Mental Health Coalition, we meet every Tuesday now from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. and Wednesday 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. We're going to start going over the student needs survey, prepare to distribute it again to obtain more respondents than last year, gather data relevant to where we are today, and overall to use this data to further empower the Mental Health Coalition and use it to advocate for mental health needs. I'm going to be working with Matthew, John, and Onsu to finalize hybrid learning survey, continued working on further establishing communications between us and the Secretary of State candidates for the forum. John, Onsu, Michael, Anthony, and I, we discussed EPC reform, as you heard from Onsu. Our goal overall is to make it more transparent and to ensure a more fair electoral system for all students and potential candidates. And I finished working on the pre-professional book purchase resolution with Mohammed today. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Yeah, go ahead, Sarah.
So when you had that meeting with the Senate, did they tell you the reason why they canceled or didn't they rejected the idea of the meeting days?
We did not exactly have a meeting with the Senate. They sent us a document listing everything that they believe should be revised about the old resolution. If anybody is interested in having a copy of that or knowing exactly what exactly you said, I can provide that to you. So feel free to come up to me.
Okay, sorry. Okay, are there any more questions? On Zoom. Okay, if not, the report of the vice president will be filed. Next, we have the report of the treasurer.
Sure. Hello, everyone. My quote for this week is from Aristotle, which says, "Quality is not an act, it is a habit." So this past week, I held the first treasury committee meeting on Wednesday. We look forward to a productive semester ahead. I finalized the courses of initiative with Vice President Arthur. The resolution was presented. Hopefully, it'll be voted on next week. I also met individually with SAE at USG Spring organization. We're waiting for vendor approval from them to decide eligibility and final terms of a possible collaboration. The committee is also scheduled to meet with two student organizations this Wednesday. We're hoping to finalize those very soon. We've also been collaborating with Chairman Felix on distributing the materials from the Winter Supplies Project. This initiative is now officially completed, and we thank everyone for their efforts to make it a reality. A new project will be underway with a different vision, and more details will follow in the future. And finally, I'm also monitoring the appointment of a new DOS advisor. For now, our very own USG advisor, Keith Ellis, will be handling our transactions and our processes. Are you open to any questions?
Are there any questions? If not, the report of the treasurer will be filed. Next, we have the report of the speaker. Okay, so hello, everyone. Hope you had a great week. Like Arthur mentioned in his report, we worked on the student mental health days and we reviewed the changes that they wanted to see made, which is quite a lot. And we didn't really want to give up everything we asked for initially. So we're going to work with a bunch of other groups of people to see if we can get their opinion and draft a new resolution with our updated demands. And it'll happen in the coming weeks. And we met to discuss the counter proposal, etc. In terms of speaker applications, it was originally due by this meeting, but I will extend it to midnight tonight. Please fill out the form. It should be both in GroupMe and in the email. And then after that, just email me to schedule a time to meet so we can like discuss the role and answer any questions you might have. As Arthur mentioned, we finalized our times and dates for the MHC meetings, and we also discussed meeting layouts and future guest speakers during the meeting. Lastly, so we have a USG box. I'm going to work on getting all of the reps added because we just keep our like documents in there. So agendas, resolutions, officer reports are all uploaded each week. And I think there's some difficulty with a duo authentication thing that we saw today, but I can work with you to figure that out if it happens for you. Most of you should already have it. Yeah, most of you should already have it, but if you have any questions or concerns and you can't get in, please email me and I'll be adding you all tonight. Are there any questions? If not, the report of the speaker will be filed. Next, we have the report of the Chief of Staff.
Hello. So this week, I met with Arthur and Anshu, and we discussed the USC Senate decision on the student mental health days that has already been discussed in previous reports. Essentially, there are a lot of just more nitty-gritty conditions that they want to be changed, and there's more of a disagreement on the implementation and a lot of recommendations on what they think would be best to implement it. So we're going to take a look at that, and also what the U of I is doing to see if we can kind of find a middle ground in something that they would agree to implement. And I have also been meeting with Stephen Dre along with Chairman Hernandez, Representative Anton Cruz, Arthur Ananchu, and then also Maria Hawk to work on the election reform. And we'll be drafting our proposed changes. And also we are waiting on some documents and some recommendations and just new information from the advisors. So hopefully they'll be able to get that to us soon. And then we'll continue work on that. The interviews for Deputy Chief of Staff will be beginning this week. And so if you have not already, I know there were maybe a few people who told me they were still going to submit their application. Please do so that you can be interviewed for it. And I also met with and been working with Chairman Matthew and the Student Success Committee, the executive team, as well as Representative Derek Khan on the hybrid learning survey, and that will likely be out soon. And I also have been working with the executive team and the speaker on the filling of vacancies in our recruitment plan. We will soon be sending out the email to various listservs. And so if you know anybody who is interested in joining USG, please send them the application. We have around, I think, 10 seats to fill, correct? Yeah, 10 to 12 seats to fill. And so the more members we have, the more ideas and input we have, and then the more people to help us, accomplish and work on these resolutions and committee work. So please, if you know anybody interested, let them know. And I've also been recently working with Arthur on the Mental Health Coalition, and hopefully there will be some action either next meeting or after that regarding that. So unless anybody has any questions, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Felix.
So I have a question about when it comes to the application. So you say 10 to 12 seats are available. Is there like a set limit on how many representatives we can have in USG? Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so there is a set limit. I believe it's 45, and that's mandated by the Constitution. So yeah, every school does it differently. I mean, other schools kind of regulate that based on the colleges, and so each college gets a certain proportion of representation. Here, it's just been 45 for the last 2 years, and so that's what we do. Sorry for that question.
Thank you. Are there any more questions? If not, the report of the Chief of Staff will be filed. Next, we have the report of the Diversity and Inclusion Chair.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Uh,
Do you want me to go?
you can come, yeah.
Sure. Okay. Hello, everyone. Okay. For my report, the first thing I did this week is I met with Creative Digital Services, and then we scheduled for February 14th, which I just realized that was the last day we're gonna have our members, so I might move this 1 week. So everything I'm gonna mention, we are also able to include our next members, like our new members. However, on that day, which I believe is now gonna be February 21st, from 4 to 5:30 p.m. on the ARC, we will be having a USG photo shoot. This will include individual headshots for all members and committee pictures too. So if you're able to come in person, please come that day. I will double check on the date and let you all know. But a cool thing is that this is going to be environmental headshots. So not just like plain headshots with a great background behind, but the environmental headshots are going to be here in the ARC. So you're going to be able to see a little bit of like the background or the ARC. It's just basically, these usually take more time. So these are just going to be only for USG members. So if you're able to take advantage of that opportunity, please do so. CDS will also be photographing the beginning of our USG meeting for us to have pictures of our general body meetings for our website, social media, and marketing, and anything we want to use the pictures for. And then the first week of March, the date has not yet been decided, so more details are yet to come, but I will be hosting a headshots event open to all UIC students for them to get their headshots for free. So we did this last semester. It's just basically like the follow-up of this event. I also met with Mohammed to discuss the resolution for the event, engaging community. The resolution was voted today, and we added some additional cost details. For engaging community, which is the event, the resolution we voted today, shout out to Representative Saba Ali for leading this event on February 3rd. Yes, thank you. Yes, awesome. Well deserved. And then on the event is going to be on February 3rd from 12 to 4 p.m. Please attend to support, invite your friends. We'll have cookies for attendees. So if you're able to go and look around, you'll be able to have some cookies and hot chocolate. And then you will also be able to engage with so many community organizations. The goal of the event is for USC students to connect with community organizations. And it's a great opportunity to learn more about these nonprofits and what volunteering opportunities they might have. I also met with my committee. Our official meeting time is 5 to 6 p.m. on Fridays. This is a hybrid meeting, which means I host a meeting on the USG office. However, if members have to join via Zoom, that's also perfectly fine. For my committee, I do have some updates. So we have the resting and sleeping spaces survey, which can be found on our Instagram. This is led by Representative Manur Rashid. So if you're able to fill that survey, it's just gonna allow us to measure and assess the needs for a sleeping area on campus. Manur is also working on finding the sleeping pods vendor and finding a place on campus in which we could have a sleeping area set up. And then the link is right there. So if you're able to do that, it's pretty short, please do so. Apart from that, we also have, and it's already on our Instagram, we posted this under winter break, the USC Campus Housing Hygiene and Safety Survey. This initiative is led by Representative Lilu Rose, and the goal is to assess the need for better hygiene on campus and establish efforts towards the cleaning supply closet for forming students. The link is also there. If you're able to do so, please fill it out if you live on campus. Once we collect more responses for both of these surveys, each representative will complete and present a report to the body about the responses, just for us to know where we're at. And then Representative Tayo is leading a BIPOC mental health roundtable. We'll have multiple BIPOC experts for students to ask questions to. So far, the roundtable is called BIPOC Mental Health Roundtable. Tayo would like to add some pizzazz to the name. So if you have any advice or feedback on the name, please send that. And then I include Tayo's email there. Please do so because we want to finalize the name by this week. We just want to make it more interesting. Maybe you'll have great creativity. So please send some ideas to Tayo if you can. And then last semester and during winter break, Representative Hannah Bogdan focused on advocating for DV bikes to include bikes that are designed for individuals with various disabilities. Nonetheless, DV has not given any response, and we have decided to put a hold on this effort. Hannah will write a report on the issue and her efforts to also keep that in USG records. And then finally, my deputy chair, Manasvi, will be attending the roundtable hosted by the Asian American Resource and Cultural Center, which Director of Campus Life, Felix Celestino, mentioned during the last meeting. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Andrew?
Yeah, so I know you said you're gonna move the USG photo shoot to the 21st, but since we plan on having the speeches for the new members on the 21st, would it be possible to move it to the 28th? So then when we vote the new members in, they could be in the photo shoot, or do you think that's too far?
Okay, so yeah, that's the idea of moving it for us to be able to have all of the members, because we're also doing committee pictures. But I thought the last one was gonna be on February 14th.
The applicants have the option to, since they have to go to a general body meeting before a part of the application, they can attend either the 7th or the 14th, and then their speeches would be on the 21st.
Oh.
Yeah, and since this is before, then we wouldn't know if they're voted in or not.
Okay, yeah, because I thought we didn't add that step because that one that wasn't on the Instagram post. But yeah, okay, I'll move it and we'll go from there. But come ready that day if you can. Very pretty. That's it.
All right, any more questions? If not, the report of the Diversity and Inclusion Chair will be filed. Next, we have the report of the Legislative Affairs Committee Chair.
Hi, everyone. So this week I locked down the committee meeting time, and LIC will meet Tuesdays at 6:30. So if you want the Zoom link or to come in person, feel free to. attended the EPC reform meeting last Thursday, and we're going to meet again this week to talk further on the issues. I emailed Dana Wright, who's on staff and just sort of a director for administration at UIC, to discuss the resolution a little bit more on maintaining student democracy and get some feedback before I might bring it to some more members on staff to get their opinion on it. In the committee meeting, we're going to lock down more administration to email to discuss this initiative with. And also this week, we'll be looking into UIC speech codes. That concludes our report.
Thank you. Are there any questions? On Zoom. If not, the report of the Legislative Affairs Committee Chair will be filed. Next, we have the report of the Public Affairs Committee Chair.
Okay, hello, everyone. My report I wrote last week, so there's been some updates, but I can just say those verbally. So I created a return to campus post, which helped students guide through the required return testing, masking policy, surveillance testing, etc. I also put the updated the website with the application. So now everything says that the application is open, and I uploaded the link to the application on the website. I also created the Instagram post and put the link on the link tree, which I will have to create an updated post. Thank you for catching that about the application having to attend a meeting. And I did figure out my first committee meeting. It will be this Thursday, 7:30 to 8, and it is on Zoom. That's the end of my report.
Thank you. Are there any questions? If not, the report of the Public Affairs Committee Chair will be filed. Next, we have the report of the Student Success Committee Chair.
Hello. So, my quote for this meeting is: don't be passive. Have interest if you want to be happy. Don't just let life happen. I'll let everyone think about that. So, some updates on the hybrid learning advocacy. I met with the vice provost, with organizer Marion Song last Wednesday. The goal of that meeting was really to figure out what the administration is doing in terms of the concerns that students have in regards to the completely in-person learning of this semester. And he had no idea what was going on. So I'm hoping to figure out if there's like at least some sort of committee overlooking the idea of hybrid learning, but he did say it's not going to disappear. My committee is continuing to meet with department heads. The committees are the departments we've met with so far are listed in the report, and we're going to continue lobbying for OER and talking about sustainability in those meetings and helping out Michael in his resolution that he has for the maintaining state democracy initiative. So in the future meetings, we'll talk about all three of those points. But like, shout out to my committee members for keeping up with these meetings. In addition, we're doing, I'm starting discussions on the headshot booth I mentioned last meeting. Hoping to get all the career departments on board with this, and hopefully we can get either the administration to pay for some of this or see where we can get the funds for this. And finally, we're going to, we have a second meeting for the social justice study. Again, the study is just to figure out what the student body is passionate about, what they're advocating for. And the committee meeting is still being determined. And something I didn't write on my report is some updates on the resolutions that we passed last semester for the OER Faculty Leadership Award. I'm following up with Faculty Affairs on getting an OER evaluation on the student evaluation forms that are sent out at the end of each semester. Most likely, she said it will have to go through the Senate to get it on the forms. So we'll work with her department and the Senate to get that through. And I've reached out to the bookstore to see how many books have been purchased through the program. And I'll see that the funds are allocated to the department for that. But yeah, that concludes my report.
Thank you. Are there any questions? I actually have a question. So is the career development headshot booth, is that separate from Daniela's headshot booth?
Yeah, so this booth will just be a thing on campus where students can schedule an appointment with on like probably iPads, and then all they have to do is show up to the booth. It's like those similar to those booths that are like in festivals where like it's just a little strip thing. But,
Okay, so it's permanent.
but for a for professional headshot.
Okay. All right, thank you. Are there any other questions? If not, the report of the student success chair will be filed. Next, we have the report of the campus life chair.
Hey everyone, I'm sorry. Okay, so I secured a time for the campus life committee to meet. So that will be on Thursday from 12:30 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. in the USG office. So for those of you who have any concerns or anything about our meeting time, feel free to reach out. And then last week went to the Treasury Committee meeting, introduced myself, got to meet the Treasury Committee, kind of talked about what campus life does, and then spoke with campus housing professional staff about staffing shortages and possible HR department issues. Basically what's happening there is there are many open positions within campus housing. A lot of them have already been given out, but because of issues with the HR department not processing the paperwork fast enough, a process that should take a couple of weeks is taking 2.5 months. So that's critical time for important staff to be within the dorms. So I was speaking to Anshu, kind of asking who I could reach out about this, and then got some good people to communicate with. So I'll be doing that this week. And then met with, but yeah, so also secured that this week I will be attending that meeting for, I'll be attending the round table, the one that Daniela had previously mentioned. So I yield my time for questions.
Thank you. Are there any questions? On Zoom, no. If not, the report of the campus life chair will be filed. Next order of business is announcements. Are there any announcements? Okay. If not, we'll move on to the next order of business, which is adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting? Is there a second? There, it has been moved and seconded to adjourn this meeting. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All that opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? All right, the ayes have it. The meeting is now adjourned at 6:58 p.m.